Well, to a divided Congress, the president made the case that now is the time to join together, both to make cuts and investments to, as he says, win the future.
These steps we've taken over the last 2 years may have broken the back of this recession. But to win the future, we'll need to take on challenges that have been decades in the making.
The president calling on Republicans and Democrats to work together to both cut the federal deficit and invest in new innovation.
We know what it takes to compete for the jobs and industries of our time. We need to out-innovate, out-educate, and out-build the rest of the world.
Obama calling it our nation's Sputnik moment, saying he'll use federal subsidies to oil companies to support a goal of 1 million electric vehicles by 2015 and having 80% of America's electricity come from clean sources by 2035. He also wants to expand both high-speed rail and high-speed internet with hopes of getting wireless to 98% of the country in 5 years.
We're not just handing out money. We're issuing a challenge. We're telling America's scientists and engineers that if they assemble teams of the best minds in their fields and focus on the hardest problems in clean energy, we'll fund the Apollo projects of our time.
But the president made a point of a key issue from Republicans during the midterm elections.
But now that the worst of the recession is over, we have to confront the fact that our government spends more than it takes in. That is not sustainable. Every day, families sacrifice to live within their means. They deserve a government that does the same.
Obama proposing to freeze discretionary spending for 5 years to save $400 billion in a decade, but also saying cuts will have to be made to defense, health care, and Social Security programs.
I recognize that some in this chamber have already proposed deeper cuts, and I'm willing to eliminate whatever we can honestly afford to do without. But let's make sure that we're not doing it on the backs of our most vulnerable citizens.
Obama also pledged to address immigration reform and tax code changes and said he would entertain ideas to change the health care reform law to make it better, saying that it can be improved.
And Jess, I don't know if the audience bought in, but the message certainly was one of strong bipartisanship here.
Well, that's right. The president both started and ended with messages of how important it was to work together, a reminder that came out of a tragedy in Tucson that, as he said, we are all a part of something greater.
All right, News 3's Jessica Arp, thanks so much. Great job tonight.